So today I've decided to make a Superman Legacy video, although I believe this movie should be called Legacy because it's so bloated. There's like 15 different characters in it, and there's going to keep rolling and rolling. Interesting. Let's see what he cooks. So there is a plot leak out there, and pretty reliable sources come out and said some stuff. Pretty consistent what I've been hearing from behind the scenes. So is James Gunn cooking? I'm going to let you decide down below. Let me know, is he cooking based on this plot leak? It's not being debunked, and remember, James Gunn is really famous for debunking stuff, and this plot leak's been out there for a very long time. It's just an updated version of the plot leak, if you like. So, yo, what is freaking good, YouTube boys? You have your new around, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Monsterverse, Kaiju-based content that I do on a daily basis. Good to subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, let me know. Are you very excited to see the new Superman that is David Korsnick and Rachel Brosnahan have a cameo role in their own movie? Because there's like, okay, I'm trolling, don't take what I say serious. So, there's an image going around of David Korsnick in a gym, sitting down with a cap, looking down. Everyone's like, yo, that's Henry Cavill. Well, I don't know if any of you guys actually go to the gym, but to me, he looked like a new person in the gym. He looked like an average, noob in the gym. I don't know why you're going, oh, he's so jacked. The dude's literally in tight joggers and a baggy top, and you're saying he's jacked. Freaking should be jacked. You know how they peak for these roles, right? The dude should be jacked. It's not like his team. So let's behave on the jacked comment. But as jacked as an average person in a gym currently. Also check us out on Twitter, Worst2G, so you can listen to my very good takes. It's actually x.com. Don't know what Elon Musk is playing at. Just change it to x.com. Also, if you want to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice, check us out on Instagram at Worst2. Right, let's go down and break it down. So, earlier today, a 4chan leak appeared on the internet. I was informed by following my boy GeekyCast. He posted it. Obviously, when stuff comes from Reddit on 4chan, we don't know how real or how not real it is, but based on the Marvels, based on The Flash, based on Thor: Love and Thunder, based on Godzilla vs. Kong, I can keep going, based on Black Panther 2, based on Ant-Man 2, based on literally every comic book movie that's come out in the last 5 years, there's always some truth to these leaks. So there is parts of this that make me think, oh, maybe this could be interesting. I wanted them to do a very uncommon villain, but it seems like they're going down the generic route. But let me guess, he's cooking and using a generic villain. Oh, you're so negative. Well, I'm not negative. I'm just breaking down what I'm seeing. And I don't know. Like I say, it's up for you guys to decide. Is this a great plot? Can he cook? Is he cooking? So, Superman has been active for a couple of years and is struggling to reconcile his human upbringing with his Kryptonian heritage. As Clark Kent. He works at the Daily Planet with Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and Perry White. Okay, so far it sounds like everything else we've had. Superman intervenes in a conflict in the Middle East. Sounds to me like you're just replacing Black Adam with Superman, but let's digress. Like I say, it could be interesting. Superman intervenes in a conflict in the mid-nation of Biola, which doesn't sit well with some of his fellow superheroes like Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, and Hawkgirl. Very interesting. Like, let's go to another fight right here. So this part here, right? Then you get James Gunn saying, I've never used one movie to set up another movie. The characters are there because they are there to help tell Superman stories better. Not so we can set up separate projects in the franchise. Superman and Lois are very clear the protagonists. So let me get this straight. You're not setting up a Green Lantern TV show or movie. You're not setting a Justice Society of America or Hawkgirl to reappear in another project down the road. The one thing I don't like about James Gunn is he doesn't actually say what he means. He says what he wants you to hear, not what he means. It's like, James, just say what you mean. Lex Luthor is running for president and leading peace talks in Biola, whilst secretly trying to game the conflict in his favor and turn public opinion against Superman. Eve Tessmacher is his assistant and enforcer. Superman's actions lead to a confrontation with the authority. All right, okay. James Gunn says this. I've never used one movie to set up another movie. The characters are there because they help tell Superman stories better. Not so we can set up separate projects in the franchise. Superman and Lois are the very clear protagonists. Okay. So we're not getting an authority project, but you're having authority members. And we already know authority members are appearing in this movie. That's literally confirmed and verified. Superman's actions lead to a confrontation with the authority a metahuman strike force assembled by the American government and formed by Jack and the engineer and the doctor. Interesting. Very interesting to me. This seems like a culmination of Black Adam and every other variation of Superman we've had. Now, the reason I'm going to criticize and be very harsh is because James Gunn keeps going on about cooking. Okay, the fans keep saying he's cooking. And then we look at this leak and it's like, what are you cooking? Are you cooking food that someone else has already cooked? Now, execution could be fine. Don't get me wrong. Okay, so there's some more details from a more reliable source, Viewer Anon. I've been following Viewer Anon's scoops since Infinity War. He doesn't really cover Marvel and DC very often, but sometimes he does. But essentially, Viewer Anon pretty much said the same thing. Yeah, but this came out literally a few hours after that Reddit post came out. Yeah, sure, it did. But like I said, Viewer Anon doesn't really say anything unless he's sure. And he also says that he's not 100% sure if this is real. Heard some stuff about Superman Legacy. I trust the source, but this stuff is always fuzzy. Superman, early in his career, and isn't widely known. His big public reveal happens in the Middle East, where terrorists have gotten a hold of Kryptonian technology. Waller and Sam Lane send in the Authority to investigate. We don't use other characters to set up later movies. Sure, bro. They believe Superman is responsible. Superman learnt of the tech in the Fortress of Solitude and hopes it will be the missing piece to discover where it comes from. Anyway, the big bad is Brainiac behind... Brainiac is so... But we've never had Brainiac in live action. Yeah, we've never had Brainiac in live action. But everyone that was attached to a Superman movie, it was always rumored Brainiac was going to be the villain. So there's David Zaslav be like, yo, stick Brainiac there because that's what every other director was going to do. As said in the first place, I trust the source, but it's all a game of telephone with info passed ear to ear. So we'll see how much of this, if anything, pans out. Sounds solid to me. This is what I like about insiders when they put information out there, and if they're not sure about the validity of it, they tell you. They don't come out and go, oh, it's been confirmed that RDJ, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson are all turning back to the MCU for Secret Wars. Hint, who are we on about that? So we went over 2 plot leaks that are basically the same. The only difference is Viewer Anon, the 7th Viewer Anon, as he calls himself on Twitter, give a little bit more context of the scenario in the Middle East. Sure, you could say, yeah, Black Adam isn't the only movie to ever use the Middle East. Yeah, okay, I get you. But Black Adam movie was one of the most recent movies that recently came out. So something I find very interesting as I'm recording this video here is, okay, it's worth saying that I live in England, is as I'm reading this on Twitter, I'm looking at the hashtags. There is more people, okay, 4,021 posts sell the Snyderverse to Netflix. Superman Legacy, 1,500. Okay, not that Twitter engagement or Twitter, whatever's trending means anything, but come on. So, before making this video, I went onto YouTube, I put Superman Legacy news, Superman Legacy plot leaks, and this kind of stuff, and there is literally no content creator talking about this stuff. I don't care for TikTok, I don't care for Instagram, YouTube is where it's at. There is nobody talking about this stuff. Why? Superman is supposed to be the greatest villain. You see what I did there? Superman is supposed to be the greatest hero ever. No one is talking about it. Why? Because James is cooking, because they haven't started filming, because it doesn't release in 2025. You're such a hater. I'm not a hater. I find this plot information interesting. So I'm making a DC video for the first time in maybe like 6 to 8 weeks. It's fascinating information. But at the same time, it's very generic. But at the same time, James Gunn keeps saying, well, we need to keep referring back to what he said when he's like, I don't use characters to set up other movies or projects. Okay, so the Authority turn up in your movie called Superman Legacy. There's an Authority project coming out, sure, interesting. Waller's there, interesting. Amanda Waller's got her own project. Yeah, Washty, you're being very pedantic today. No, I'm just using what he said and digressing it to a plot leak, which seems to be true because your boy James Gunn doesn't let people talk rubbish online. He debunks them, and a bunch of people tagged him in a post, and it didn't really get any info. And this information's been shared by the really influential Twitter people, the Twitter DC Universe kind of pages, and they all seem to think it's true about Lex becoming a president or wanting to, about Brainiac being involved, about the Authority getting involved. Yeah, you could say this correlates to the most recent information coming out, but like I say, Viewer Anon's been pretty bang on with his Godzilla Kong scoops, his Infinity War scoops, and a lot of other stuff that he talks about. He doesn't generally talk DC very often, but when he says something, I listen because he's generally right. He's got a pretty good track record, although he does acknowledge he doesn't know if it's true, but he does say take it with a pinch of salt. But you guys have been asking me to cover Superman Legacy for the longest time ever, so I thought, okay, cool. There's something to actually talk about. Yeah, I know there's been a bunch of casting announcements, but that just makes the movie bloated. It's like, oh, BVS got so much hate because the Holy Trinity was in that movie. Yet this movie has Green Lantern in it, has Hawkgirl in it, has a bunch of characters aren't really relevant to the overall story. You don't know what the story... Okay, sure, I don't know what the story is, right? But I'm going off this. No one's debunked it. Multiple credible sources of saying it's true. The Middle East plotline's been popping up for over last year, but apparently no leaks get out because James Gunn is the only person that knows what's going on. That's not true. That's not true because DCEU leaks page revealed who was going to be writing the Supergirl project way ahead before, and then it turns out that it was right about who they've picked. So it's interesting how no DC leaks are going to get out because it's going to be kept really tight with James Gunn. But a lot of stuff that's appeared on DCEU leaks over the last month or so being very credible. Yeah, well, Stu, you're so fake. You're just making this video because there's a plot leak out there. No, like I said, I only make videos on stuff I find interesting, but it is interesting. Like, I would like to see Brainiac in a movie, but I don't want it to be rushed. So it's the first Superman movie in this new universe that's been around for a long time, and all these superheroes know each other. Is Batman? I think Batman should show up in this movie. Go on, you might as well. You've already got Green Lantern. Get Batman. Get Wonder Woman in it. Bloat it even more because it needs to pop. This movie can't just do okay. It has to pop. I get it. They're going to get a massive tax credit break because they're filming in the UK. Yeah, that just takes down the budget. That doesn't really mean much else. So I would like to cover more DC stuff. I really would, but you're not giving me much to work with. You're really not giving me much to work with. Like I said, no one's really covering any DC stuff at the moment. I mean, Aquaman 2 comes out next month, and no one seems to care. And then you got Momoa going, yeah, it's going to be the last time I'm playing this role. And everyone's like, this is him confirming that he's now Lobo. To be honest, I don't really care if he plays Lobo or not. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram or to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter, Rich2G, and I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.